Chapter 1. The Bargain. After May died, something inside me shattered. Not the kind of shatter that makes noise. No glass, no screams. It was silent, like a window cracking under pressure from the inside out. Quiet, slow, fatal. I didn't eat, didn't sleep. Just stared at the cracked photo on the floor. MJ, Ned, May, and me. Smiling like we thought we'd get to stay that way forever. Like we didn't know life was sharpening its knives behind the curtain. The apartment smelled like smoke and dust. Sirens still echoed from the street, even hours after the attack. I should have left, but I couldn't move. My hands were shaking, my heart was. I couldn't stop thinking about how May looked in those last seconds. How she smiled through the pain. How she said I was doing the right thing, right before the light left her eyes. I tried to hold on to MJ. I told her everything. Again. I begged her to remember. But every time I opened my mouth, I watched the weight behind her eyes grow heavier. She wasn't safe. None of them. Not as long as the world knew who I was. And so I did what I swore I'd never do again. I climbed the snow-covered stairs of the Sanctum Sanctorum and stood in front of the man who bends reality like it's origami. Dr. Strange didn't say a word at first, just stared at me like he already knew. I need you to make them forget, I said. He didn't answer, just turned away, his cloak swaying like the curtain before a performance you can't take back. You don't understand, I pressed. They're not safe. MJ, Ned, anyone who knows me, it's all falling apart. I just want to protect them. Strange raised a hand to silence me. His voice was low. Peter, there are prices you don't see until they've already taken what you love. I said I was willing to pay. I wish I hadn't. I watched him draw sigils in the air, golden threads of memory spooling like spider silk. The spell coiled around me, warm and cold at once, like grief pretending to be comfort. And then, silence. The world shifted. My name was gone. All that remained were the echoes and the guilt. Chapter 2. Erased. The world didn't change with a bang. It unraveled like a bad dream you try to hold on to, but slips through your fingers the moment you open your eyes. 1 second, I existed. The next, I was just a face in a crowd. The spell worked. Dr. Strange erased me from everyone's mind. No goodbyes, no final hugs. Just absence, clean and sterile. I walked down the steps of the sanctum into a city that didn't know my name. Not Peter Parker, not Spider-Man. I tried to tell myself this was the right thing. That silence was safer than memory. But silence is loud when it's all you have. I moved into a one-room apartment on the edge of nothing. 5th floor, no elevator, one flickering light bulb that buzzed like it had secrets of its own. The sink leaked. The mattress groaned like it wanted to die. And it rained. Every night. Same time. Like the sky was mourning too. I sewed my own suit. Red and blue, cloth and pain. No AI, no nanotech, no Stark to save me. Just thread, needle, and the sound of my breathing in the dark. I passed Ned in a coffee shop once. He was laughing with someone I didn't recognize, earbuds in, hoodie up. I stood there for a second too long, waiting for, I don't know, a glance, a spark, a question. But nothing came. He brushed past me on his way out, never looking back. I saw MJ too. It was early morning, soft light, a chill in the air. She was closing up the bakery, her apron dusted with flour, earbuds half hanging from her ears. She looked happy. I froze across the street, heart clawing at my ribs, wondering if I should go in. Just say hi. Pretend I'm a stranger, buy a muffin. Smile, but I couldn't, because I wasn't a stranger, and she wasn't mine anymore. So I watched her leave, watched her walk into a life I gave her. She was safe. That's what I told myself. But safe doesn't mean whole, and neither am I. I stopped talking out loud. Stopped making jokes, even to myself. Stopped answering to Peter, unless it was inside my own head. I was just Spider-Man. Not even that, really. Just a shape in the rain, a myth in the alley. People still screamed when they saw me swinging by. But not for joy, for fear. Because without the people who knew me, I wasn't a hero. I was just a mask. And behind that, just a boy who gave up everything and forgot how to cry. Chapter 3. Fisk's City. The city started to feel different. Not louder, not meaner, just quieter. Like it was holding its breath. Crime didn't spike. It evolved. It got sharper, cleaner, invisible unless you knew where to look. And in the shadows of that silence, something old returned. Something heavy. Wilson Fisk. The Kingpin slithered back in while everyone was distracted. While the Avengers were scattered, the Eternals vanished, and Strange was off rewriting the rules of the universe. Fisk didn't need magic. He had money, he had politicians, he had time, and this time, he wasn't hiding behind suits and legal loopholes. He owned the city. His face was on screens now. Charity events, political forums, community restoration boards. He smiled like a man who'd finally beaten the system. Because he was the system now. And the cops? They stopped asking questions. They started looking the other way. When Fisk bought the news outlets, people barely noticed. When he started pushing gentrification through condemned blocks, they called it progress. But me? I saw the truth buried under fresh pavement and shining press releases. Fisk wasn't just rebuilding New York, he was rewriting it. I followed him one night, hung from a ledge 6 stories up, watching him exit a club in the Lower East Side. Men with guns and tailored suits flanked him like statues. Fisk didn't need to look over his shoulder. People moved for him, and when they didn't, they vanished. I caught whispers, hacked radios, tapped burner phones. There were names, deals, new players rising under his banner, guys I'd tangled with before. But something was different now. They were coordinated, smarter, almost military, and at the center of it all, a word I kept hearing. Clean slate. A program, a protocol. But it didn't sound like a cover-up. It sounded like an operation. Then I saw the ledger, Fisk's private account book. I got my hands on a digital clone, thanks to an anonymous drop from a hacker who called themselves Needlepoint. I skimmed through it at 3 a.m. with the light of my busted laptop flickering like a dying star. There were names, bank accounts, offshore links, and one entry that made my heart skip a beat. Watson, MJ. Tag, Class 7. Priority observation. My throat went dry. Why her? She didn't even know me anymore. Didn't know him. She was out, free, safe. So why the hell was Fisk watching her? Unless, somewhere, deep down, a part of her remembered. Or maybe it wasn't about her at all. Maybe it was about me. Because some ghosts don't stay buried. Fisk, he always had a nose for blood.